What is up, you guys? It's Rob here. Today we'll cover ticker symbol GME. We'll cover it on the daily, weekly, monthly time frame in anticipation for tomorrow's trading day, May 13th. Just want to preface this video by saying that I've been up for essentially the past 36 hours because I had my day job required me to do certain things for them. So I was up all night. So I apologize if I'm a little bit tired. I feel really bad and I wanted to get a video out to you guys because I wasn't able to get one out to you guys yesterday. So let's go ahead and cover the chart here for GameStop for the day. So GameStop finished down 1.5%. I really want to highlight one thing. Today we got what's called the CPI data, the Consumer Price Index data. So this is an indicator of inflation. And what is the one thing that the stock market doesn't like? Inflation. Inflation came in higher than expected month over month and year over year. So we were expecting 0.6% month over month. We got 0.8%. Year over year, we were expecting 3.5% and we got 4.2%. And really the main indicator, the blame in all of this was the car market, because the car market was up essentially was inflated by 10% year over year. And we saw that in the month to month too. But this did definitely weigh on the greater overall market because it was negative for the whole entire day. So just keep that in mind. This is added on to the fact that this is being a heavily shorted stock, and it also is manipulated and probably seen a lot of naked shorts. Personally, that's just my opinion. I'm some guy here on the internet. Keep that in mind. I'm not a financial advisor. None of this is financial advice. This is purely for entertainment purposes only. So really taking a look here at GameStop, it was a volatile day for the stock just in general. Like, we were all over the place. This MACD is all over the place. We're overextended here. We did cool off later into the day and we had a nice period of consolidation right in here, which was actually pretty nice. But I mean, overall for the day, we were just all over the place, and the market was really just overall all over the place and very volatile because of this data that we got. So just wasn't a good day. The other thing I really want to highlight, GameStop only had 2.72 million shares traded today. 2.72 million shares today. That is it. That is extremely low volume. I don't know if that's setting a record for our low volume here in the past couple of days. We can take a look at it, but I know. Okay, so we had 1.7 back on the 5th of this month. Okay, but still, 2.72 million shares. That is a that's a lot of people holding on to the stock. That is a lot of people just diamond handing the stock, saying, "I'm holding on to it." We're seeing the shorts come in and try to push the price down, and then when it gets to the point that we want to buy it, we end up buying it. We're going to see the occasional paper hander too, so keep that in mind. But overall, a lot of people are just buying and holding and waiting for this mother of all wedges, I believe is what it's called, to squeeze. I read the DD on it and I actually see it and I actually do understand it now, which is great. And we are definitely still within this wedge, and should be seeing a move, I would think, probably in the next couple of weeks, honestly. But the other thing I do want to say is I personally believe, and this is my personal opinion, when either AMC or GME squeeze, I think a lot of these are going to follow in tandem, and they're going to cause a cascading effect of, if one squeezes, it's going to cause the other one to squeeze, and then the other one to squeeze on top of that. So that's my personal opinion. That's what I really think is going to happen. So if AMC squeezes first, okay, fine. AMC squeezes first, it's probably going to cause Citadel to get margin called, and then they also short GME. So when they get margin called, they're probably going to also have to cover their GME positions, which is going to cause GME to squeeze and then all these other meme stocks to squeeze. Because back in January, when all these stocks squeezed at one time, same players were shorting the stock. So the same players are doing it now. So just keep that in mind. But taking a look here at the 5-day time frame, we have really cooled off our volatility here on the MACD, which is a good sign. So we had our really bad day here on Monday. Like, I felt like today was a really bad day, but apparently was nothing compared to Monday. So we had a very overextended MACD, oversold here right off the bell. oversold here, like really overextended. I mean, the thing that I'm taking a look at here when I take a look at this 5-day chart is we pretty much traded flat today versus the past Monday and Tuesday. Tuesday, we definitely made up a good amount of ground that we lost because we had a nice fall here during the pre-market hours. So keep that in mind. But really taking a look at the 1 month, come on, Weeble, 1 month, 1 hour chart. We're still within these wedges, within this wedge. You can see the descending level resistance, ascending level support. We did break through it. So personally, we did break through the bottom of this wedge. I think we're going to end up breaking back above and getting back in within this wedge because we did have uh, like a false breakout up here on the positive side. So keep that in mind. Now, if we do continue this downwards trend, then that is definitely going to be a concern. So what I could see is us having this breakdown and then breaking back up into this wedge. So the other thing to highlight is our 200 EMA and 60-day EMA moving average are hooking downwards. These are lagging indicators, so they aren't predicting future price movement, but they can predict they have predicted can't speak today. They predict past movement and where we were. So the thing to take a look at is these are hooking to the downwards direction, which is technically a bearish indicator. We do have a bullish MACD, which is good. And the thing that I really want to highlight is how overextended this MACD is and really how today's price movement, yeah, it was down 1.5%, but we really brought it back towards the equilibrium here, which is a good sign. It means we are bringing implied volatility down within the move that we created today, which is good. Our RSI sitting here at 49, so just about neutral. So not a terribly bad thing. Taking a look here on a day time frame, the wedge, we're pretty much flirting with breaking through the bottom of this wedge. The thing that I would be concerned about is if we closed a candle below this. We're sitting on the wedge right now. If we closed a whole entire day candle below the wedge, then that would be something that I'd be turning my head at. The other thing that I don't like here from a TA perspective is the 15-day moving average is hooking downwards and the 60-day moving average is hooking upwards, which means that we are headed towards bearish territory on a micro perspective, not a macro perspective. We're still in bullish territory on a macro perspective because our 200-day exponential moving average is sitting here at 88.31. So keep that in mind. The MACD also is a bearish indicator here. We are below the equilibrium and we are getting a further separation from the signal and the MACD. The RSI sitting here at 41.29. So the thing is, we're seeing a consolidation going on here. We had our second rip up here of 348.50, and then we've just been consolidating this whole entire time. So what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to eventually make a move either to the upside or to the downside when we get to the end of this wedge, or if we end up breaking down through it or breaking up above it. That's what I'm going to be looking for. All right, guys, now let's go ahead and take a look at the short interest through Ortex and then Stock O Tracker. So really, when we take a look at this, our short interest change did increase 4.26%, which is very significant on the day. Our short interest of free float is sitting at 23.31%. Our current short interest in shares is estimated at 11.82 million shares. Cost to borrow minimum is 1%, average is 1.16, and then the cost to borrow max is 3.11%. Our borrowed shares was 824,500. Keep in mind, this is only GameStop shares. This does not include ETF shares. We'll cover that in Stock O Tracker. But really taking a look at the borrowed change of a positive 570,730 shares. So shorts are still doubling down on this, and GameStop is still getting absolutely hammered by short positions. Now, our days to cover sitting at 0.63, so absolutely, in my opinion, still squeezable. When we take a look at the short interest or free float, we're pretty much sitting just about even. So what we're probably seeing is a lot of people just giving their shares back from having a shares on loan because they don't want to establish a short position, but we still can see this positive change here. So shorts are still absolutely doubling down. When we take a look at the calls and then the ETF shares, we're looking at 45,135 shares. So at 10:16 this morning, we were sitting at 40,274 out of 4.42 million shares. That's a lot. So Stocko Tracker has 300,000 shares roughly available to borrow at a 1% fee, 45,135 short ETF shares for GameStop. So insane. Like, we're seeing a lot of short interest piling into GameStop. We have 934 calls currently in the money. If we can get to 150, we're going to literally almost, I can't math today, apparently. We're going to triple our in the money calls, which would be absolutely huge. So keep that in mind. So overall, though, GameStop, like, we did finish down 1.5%, but we are still continuing to move forward. And I still stand by my personal opinion of the stock can still absolutely squeeze and will absolutely squeeze in the future. And if GameStop squeezes first, I still believe it's going to cascade into all the other meme stocks. If AMC squeezes first, I believe it's going to cascade all the way back through and include GameStop. So keep in mind, ape no hurt, no ape kind of thing. We're all in this together. We all want our attendees and we all want to go to the moon. If you guys do have any questions or anything like that, feel free to drop a comment down below. Also hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, make sure that you turn on notifications for the YouTube algorithm. If you made it this far in the video, it really does help me out, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.